Francis Galton was the first to come up with the term eugenics. He had a philosophy that only the ablest and healthiest should have kids. He thought of it as morally right to improve humanity. People that were put in insane asylums for harmless reasons like depression were wrongfully sterilized. The people in these asylums were not all bad people, but found themselves getting sterilized for nonetheless. Sterilization involved people performing surgery to make someone incapable of creating children. People of multiple different brain or learning disabilities were deemed defective and were also sterilized. Some that were born without body parts like legs or arms would often be stamped defective. Anyone born with muscular dystrophy were seen to have unwanted traits that were thought to contaminate future generations of children. All of these people were sterilized. Supporters of eugenics claimed that society was the one paying for these defective individuals. They said that defectives were a burden on the rest of the country. States had to pay extra taxes to support the sterilization of defectives, they claimed. They wouldn't have to pay anything if sterilization was not around in the first place. A common blame was on criminals and other low members of society were the immigrants from around the world. They were the first to be blamed for the lowering in the quality of the people. The government even got to the point where limits on immigration were placed. Acts of these nature include the Chinese Exclusion Act and the Boston-based literacy tests. New laws began coming out in the height of the eugenics period involving marriage. It became illegal to marry a person of another race. Whites could not marry anyone more than 1/64th of another race. Marriages even got taken to the Supreme Court to challenge these rulings. The Supreme Court finally shut down these laws after Loving versus the Commonwealth of Virginia. Eugenics was not right. In the Constitution, it says that all men are created with three unalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life being the most important in this debate. How can someone have life if they aren't even born? These rights did not exist in Germany, however. There, Hitler used eugenics in a way to clear out the country of his non-perfect race. Those removed include Jews, homosexuals, and handicapped people. It is wrong to take away someone's right to have a child because of a simple gene problem. We see every day people with mental learning disabilities who are just like the normal everyday people you see every day. They should not be hurt for something they can't control. If eugenics were still enforced that much today, homeless people, people with learning disabilities, and paraplegics would be stripped of their ability to have kids. People with drug and alcohol abuse wouldn't have kids. Some kids born to alcoholic and drug abusing parents have turned out to be important and productive members of society. Someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best soccer players in the world, would not be alive today. Eugenics is a very bad idea that should have never been founded. It is not a good method to fixing our society. Children of defectives are not necessarily going to be defective. They can be important members of society. Just think of all the children that were prevented by sterilization. Eugenics could have potentially killed a cure to cancer or the next Einstein.